welcome to the fourth and final game of the evening. Violations will be punished. A cyberpunk turn-based slash real-time strategy hybrid. Gather minerals and produce units amidst dynamic turn-based battles. You work for a dystopian corporation, but then you discover your true identity to rule the world from the shadows. Let's together make the solar system a better place. TM. Anyway, yeah, so Violations Will Be Punished is a strategy game. They say hybrid. That's maybe not the right word to use. It's more, I think you can shift to either real-time or turn-based. I selected turn-based. Like, in terms of the actual strategy construction, it plays out like a RTS game more than a turn-based strategy. The key signifiers are resource gathering and unit building. Those are things that that RTSs bother with much more than turn-based strategy. I found. Not saying that they're mutually exclusive, but like sending a vehicle, building a vehicle and sending it out to resource mine crystals. What does that invoke? A StarCraft or Command and Conquer. And there are turn-based strategy games that do that. There are turn-based strategy games that don't do that. Just resource gathering is much more endemic to real-time strategy, probably because the real-time, because you can be worlds apart. Though how it plays, definitely much more like a turn-based strategy game. I feel it's like I didn't really try out the time stuff. I'll be honest, my time was limited this week because we're in not E3 season. So there have just been conferences and, 2 games to cover. Yeah, it's been busy. But, that's fine. Like the actual strategy stuff, it works. It's a fine time. It's perhaps a bit limited in its strategy designs. I mean that literally. Like you can only generate units from one one mobile truck unit versus much grander strategy real-time strategy games where you might have a bunch, or you don't have it does have a layer of extra strategy. I'm sorry, collecting my thoughts here. Because you can only, with these particular vehicles, you can only generate units if they're if they're planted. If they're non-mobile. There's 2 states for a lot of the units, not just the unit generation, but a lot of the defensive units, like the rocket launchers and the rocket platformers. You can only use in unpacked mode. Packed modes means they're mobile. With the generation units, if you have them in packed mode, you can heal a unit. There's Fog of War and all that stuff. But I think the real meat of this strategy game is in the meta. As the marketing materials alluded to. Once again, don't know how the whole mastermind humanity thing plays out, or even how other units, because I only got like 3 or so hours into this. But it starts out as a very over the top parody of capitalist corporations. Like, you might know the kind of parody, very unsubtle, very over the top, very sold my stove, the company store kind of deal. Like, one of the jokes is you have to not only read all the junk email you're sent, but you have to buy what's in it. And, if you click ignore, you get one shot at doing that. Next time you are killed and reconstituted into a new clone. As far as how the humor lands, lands all right, but it's like I've seen this before. Even its over the top variant. Like, I've watched RoboCop, among others. Like, I think the biggest problem I had with the game was the art. Especially like the character portraits. Maybe this was an intentional thing given the rest of the game, but the art looks off. Like, I'm almost certain like that's a intentional choice given what the rest of the game is. And yeah, any questions, comments, or concerns on this one?
I think I'm good.
Not really.
Yeah. I said, I do wish I had put more time in it, but sometimes this happens. Fortunately, this game is pretty cheap. Very cheap. All things considered, $4.99. That is a very easy recommendation, and honestly, kind of a bargain. Like, I could recommend this at like $10 or something like that. Given how much, it may not be on the level of, say, StarCraft or Command and Conquer or Civilization or Advance Wars, but it's still really good. And you can try before you buy as well. It's got a demo. And yeah, that's about all I got for Violations Will Be Punished. So that'll about do it for not just this review, but this review session. So coming up on the week ahead, we do have a new episode of Moonhawk Studios Presents planned. And Petty, I hope you're ready to carry an interview for once. Yeah. But on Wednesday, June 14th, on the Fragments of Silicon show, we'll be having Ed Annunziata returning to the program to talk about the post-Sega phase of his career. Like, looking forward to that. Probably not going to go as long as the first interview did, if only because MSP is there. And no Friday show this week. So, yeah, until next time, I shall wish you good gaming.